KwaZulu-Natal's disaster management teams being placed on high alert this morning. That's because the South African Weather Service is warning of heavy rainfall that could cause low water bridges to overflow, localized flooding and significant disruption to major travel routes, especially as holidaymakers, of course, return home. KZN's Corporate Governance Department spokesperson is Senzo Mzila, and he joins us now via our video link for their state of readiness. Senzo, thanks for making time. Welcome to the SABC. Unfortunately, KZN is all too used to these kind of weather alerts. I wonder to what extent you feel prepared this time to respond to whatever lies ahead.
Good morning to you and good morning to your viewers. The governor of Cogta has placed all disaster management teams on high alert. This follows the weather warning that we've received, and we can also confirm that yesterday our provincial disaster management center convened a special JOC meeting where stakeholders such as SANRAL, line function departments such as transport, KZN, economic development, social development, and social partners and all municipalities were present, and all their plans were presented, and we were assured that it's all systems go, our province is ready for whatever eventuality might come from the inclement weather conditions that we're expecting.
Are you able to take us through some of the main resolutions that came from that emergency meeting yesterday?
Well, one of the key ones was that stakeholders such as SANRAL, they've indicated that on their side, it's all systems go. They will closely be monitoring all the major routes. Similarly as well, transport indicated that all the major routes will be monitored. Also, we did receive a report from all of our municipalities, our district disaster management centers, who also indicated that across all wards, councillors have been made aware of the possible impact that the weather conditions might have. And also they've indicated that community halls, public facilities are on standby to be used should the need arise.
As I mentioned, certainly, KZN has seen such incidents take place, and I'm sure lessons have been learned along the way. Is it clear to the department which areas, for example, are high risk?
Well, from the warning that we received, the areas that are along the coast of the province, from the Herikwala district, the Ugu district, Ilembe, eThekwini, King Cetshwayo, Mkhanyakude, and parts of the Zululand district, all of these areas are the ones that have got a level 8 weather warning. Other parts of the province within the interior as well, they've got a level 6 and a level 4 warning. So large parts of the province, specifically though, areas that are low-lying, those are the ones that we expect to be affected, but those areas are being monitored by our disaster management teams.
If history is anything to go by, we know the situation changes quite drastically and very quickly for people who are likely to be, in the firing line, so to speak. It brings us to questions around your preparedness, for example, to respond in the form of aid, especially in cases where people may very well need to be relocated.
Well, in terms of support, we've got stakeholders that we're working with, which is our social partners. We are working with them very closely, but also the department as well has been beefing up its stock that has been given to disaster centers within the district to ensure that should there be a need to respond, they all have the interim relief stock that they need to respond should anything happen.
It feels to us that these events are happening a whole lot more frequently than perhaps might have been the case even 10 years ago. Do you as a department feel like you've recovered from the previous floods?
Well, the Department of Cogta has got a mandate of coordinating disaster response within the province. So our role is to ensure that all departments have got their plans ready and that we ensure that there is seamless response to any incident that occurs. The reality of climate change is with us, and as you'll remember, last July we had wildfires that ravaged parts of the province, grazing land, crops, they were wiped out, houses were damaged. And so this time in this season, we're dealing with flooding. So the province itself is resilient and plans are in place to ensure that we respond swiftly should anything happen. But the important thing as well is that our communities need to take heed to this warning because this incident could be life-threatening, and we urge all communities to ensure that they are always safe and they're always exercising utmost caution, specifically relating to these weather conditions.
Yeah. In the past, people who have been placed in temporary shelters have been worried, let's say, that they have to spend weeks, if not longer, in those shelters. As you and I speak today, are there any people who are still being sheltered in these temporary structures from the previous disasters, for example?
Okay. From the information that the department has, most care centers were closed from the previous incidents that have occurred in the province. But also, I just want to also make it clear as well that as a province, we do want our communities to ensure that they build in areas that are on higher ground. We've got many incidences that have occurred whereby people are building in areas that are known to be waterlogged whenever there's heavy rains. So the department is proactive in engaging with a number of stakeholders. This includes traditional leaders, municipalities, to ensure that communities that are living in areas that we deem as a danger find a way of being moved out of those areas, because those areas are the ones that are at the imminent danger.